your girl Jen, and today I am filming a mukbang. And for those who don't know what that is, it's basically an eating show where the host eats a large amount of food while interacting with their audience. And it is a huge trend in Korea, so I thought I'd show love to my roots and film this for you guys, or I guess my own version of it. So let's get started with the first question. Castaway Hood asks, if you were only allowed one food and one drink for the rest of your life, what would you choose? I am definitely gonna have to choose soup as my entire food category because soup is really one of my favorite foods. It's my favorite thing to make, it's my favorite thing to eat when I'm sad. It's also really easy to make. You just chop up the vegetables and you add water and you let it boil. For my drink, I'm just gonna have to stick with water because I couldn't imagine just drinking soda or juice for the rest of my life. Second question comes from Junkie SD. They ask, if you could immediately master any language in the world, what would it be and why? It's very obvious, but I would definitely choose Korean because even though I'm 100% Korean, I was born and raised in America, which means that my English took off, but my Korean kind of took a back seat. It's just a little frustrating when I speak with my parents sometimes because we speak in Konglish, so that's a mix between Korean and English. If I could fully master Korean to get to know my parents, even at that deeper level, that would make me so happy. I know I could just learn now, but honestly, I feel like it's not the same as learning when you're a kid. For my second language, I'm gonna have to go with Spanish. Kind of random, I know, but like in my hometown, a lot of people spoke Spanish and I took like all the Spanish classes in high school and for some reason, nothing has really absorbed. And I don't know, I think it just sounds really tight. The third question comes from Victoria XMM. She asks, any advice for a community college student who is in the middle of transferring? Oh man, community college was pretty tough for me as well. I would say it was a kind of a dark time in my life. Like I definitely wasn't super stoked that I was going. I felt very small. Half of my peers were going to prestigious universities, going to New York, going to art school, all that jazz, while I was stuck in my hometown. But now that I look back, it was exactly what I needed. I feel like the positives of going to a community college is that you can do stuff at a slower pace. I feel like when you graduate and you go directly into a college, I feel like a lot of people can get carried away. But because I was at home for 2 years, I was able to just kind of really hone in on what I wanted to do, who I was, and that was the time when Sarah and I started the YouTube channel. And I feel like if I didn't go to community college, this channel wouldn't have even happened. Also, the student debt was cut in half. I didn't have to do a 4-year university student loan. Going to university in America is not cheap, and the fact that I get to live student debt free is amazing. I was able to pay everything off. Make sure you go to your counselor. I know appointments can be backed up, but you just gotta go, even if you just try and make like a stand-in appointment. A standby appointment? One of those. Just make sure you see them, make a plan, schedule out so you can get the exact amount of credits to know how you can transfer out. Always stick with a plan. You got this. Dion Paj asks, how did your life change after Cheeky? Well, first off, we wake up at 6:30 a.m. every single day, right on the dot. Before we were waking up at 7:30, but that was because Cheeky was just barking. And then our trainer advised us to wake up earlier than her and then feed her and then go back to sleep so that way she doesn't get in the habit of just like barking in the morning and waking us up. Because eventually it'd be nice to like wake up at 8:30 again. Besides all that, it's been amazing. I feel like having Cheeky is like the first taste of parenthood. It's crazy. I feel like we're finding more excuses to stay in. We're having more excuses for people to come over. It's so nice to come home and have someone be so excited to see you. That's always nice. Question number 5 comes from Changji-hee88. How do you get out of a slump when everything is not going right around you? Honestly, getting out of a slump is pretty difficult for me too. I'm not perfect. I have my bad days, sometimes my bad weeks. But I think the first step is to recognize that you are in this mental state and that everything is gonna sound like shit when you're feeling like this. And understand that this is a mood. And I mean, for most people, moods come in waves. And sometimes you just gotta wait it out. You gotta do stuff that makes you feel better. For me, when I'm feeling like this, I get very anxious and I feel like I have so much to do. And so what I like to do is I write in my planner. I have a daily planner that I write in every single day because I need to get it out of my system. I've noticed that when I write what's in my head onto like a concrete piece of paper, I feel like there's like a weight that's been lifted, and that's what's been working for me so far. I mean, I still get into slumps now and then, but I deal with it a lot better. There's nothing worse than you being in a slump and then you're not productive, and then you get sad that you're behind, and that makes you even in a worse mood. So the one thing that you can always do is to stay planned. Also, if planning is not your thing and you're just really in like a difficult state, I find that listening to podcasts really help. There is a program called Radio Lab, and there's just so many stories on there, and it really opens the doors to all these perceptions, and you hear about other people's lives, and you realize that you're not so alone, that everyone's kind of dealing with their own shit and trying to make it work. All in all, just know that everyone gets into slumps, but it's about what you can do to make yourself feel better. Was your family always supportive about your growing success and YouTube fame, or did it make them quite uncomfortable? When I first started my channel, they were just happy that I was like going to school. This is just something that I did on the side. I wasn't like,
Mom, Dad, I'm gonna do YouTube full time and I'm dropping out of school.
It was never like that at all. So I think they were just happy that I was doing something creative, and they were happy that it made me happy. Yeah, I was really always lucky in the sense that my family was always super supportive. When I was living in Oakland and Davis, they were always the ones that would like text me and call me about my video, and that was the way they kind of kept up with me, because LA and Oakland are obviously very far, and sometimes when I wouldn't upload in a week, they would be like, Toya, 괜찮아? And the same goes for my big brother James. He's always been so supportive about what I do. He sometimes makes the music for my videos, so go follow him. It's Oh My Moo. And any input he has on my video or my channel, I always like to take, because I respect what he has to say. Oh my god, this lasagna though. Question number 7 comes from Iced Coffee. If you weren't doing YouTube right now, what would your occupation be? I think I would have to say like a project manager or something like that. I would say I'm pretty damn organized, I'm good with people, and I like to get it done. So I guess that's what I would do. I don't know, at like a startup or maybe like a fashion company, like I have no idea. Or maybe a creative director, finding ideas for photo shoots, video content, styling, something like that. That would be awesome. But I definitely want to stay a YouTuber. Laura DIY asks, what does Cheeky want to be for Halloween? First off, hi Lauren! We tried to get Cheeky this like cute ladybug costume. It was the only costume that fit her in the store, but she freaking hates it. Like her body just completely melts when she gets it, and she's just trying to like wiggle it off. So I think we're gonna try and find her a different costume, something that she likes and we both like. But until then, she'll just stay a ladybug. Kale chips. Question 9 comes from Ahoy Myth. What motivates you to work out? Also, was it hard working out at the start? I have trouble trying to stay consistent. I mean, I don't have the highest metabolism in the world, so it takes a lot for me to even just stay at this frame. So that in itself is a motivator for me to work out, because I want to eat the way I want to and still be the same frame. Also, I work from home, so I mean, it's pretty much a sedentary lifestyle if I don't work out. So I have to get out and, you know, get the blood pumping, all that goodness. I've noticed that if I don't work out in a couple of days, my mood starts to dip. So working out just helps bring out those natural endorphins and keeps my mind and body healthy. When I first started working out was when I moved to Davis. So that was like my first time living alone, and the apartment complex that I lived in had a at-home gym. So every day after school, I would go on the treadmill like 30 to 40 minutes, and I would just do stuff on my time. And once I got used to that, I started going to these group classes. It was for like TRX, and that's pretty much like all these ropes and you're like strength training. And at first that was really intimidating, but the more I went to it, just the more I got used to it. So it's all about just getting yourself in the habit of it. And just the more times you do something, the more comfortable you'll be. Oh my God, this combo. Simile Kimmer asks, what is your guilty pleasure movie? Hands down, it's A Walk to Remember. That was my favorite book and film back in the day. Who didn't want a Landon to their Jamie? I feel like every girl kind of felt like Jamie, kind of like the outcast, the good girl, and somehow the hot guy in school just like happens to fall in love with you when he buys you a new sweater. It was my favorite film. Mandy Moore's so good in it, and it just gives me all the feels. It brings back a lot of good memories for me, especially the soundtrack. Oh, the soundtrack was so good. Only Hope, that was a banger. The last question comes from Jane Kali. Has there ever been a time that you wanted to quit YouTube? No, there's never been a time where I wanted to fully quit YouTube, throw down the towel. It's never been like that. But there have been many times where I've been frustrated with it. And I think that's natural. YouTube is a completely different thing than what it was when I first started. Because of that, I've been trying to grow with it as well. And I think that the beginning of this year and also all of 2015, I struggled a lot creatively, trying to stand out. And I think a lot of it had to do with me filming with a production company. I've signed to do 52 videos for them, and that just fried my brain. I was creatively done. Like, because on top of that, I was still making YouTube videos for my channel. So it was a struggle for sure. And I was really stressed out about it, and I felt like I was comparing myself to a lot of people. When you're on YouTube, you see people who have like crazy editing effects or like a crazy production team. And it's easy to get caught up in that and feel so small. But I've realized that comparing yourself really gets you nowhere. It's just literally you just like flogging yourself, because it's not gonna change anything. And I feel like mentally I'm in a lot better state right now, and I feel like September and even August, that's when something just like lit up my ass. Is that the saying? I don't know, but something clicked in my brain, and I'm just starting to put less pressure on myself, because I felt like I was always trying to one-up myself, always trying to evolve and keep up with everything, seeing what everyone else was doing and trying to stay afloat. All in all, what I'm trying to say is that I'm in a better mental state right now. I'm doing videos that I would want to see in my subscription feed, and I couldn't imagine quitting YouTube fully. Like, it would have to be a really, really long time before I do that. All right, everyone, those were my questions for my mukbang. This is definitely not a traditional type of mukbang, but this is my own twist on it. So hope you guys enjoyed. I am thinking about making this just a normal series on my channel. So if you'd like that, please hit the like button. Also, if you have any questions for my next Q&A, feel free to write them in the comments down below. I think I'm gonna just pick them out of my YouTube comments next time. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys aren't too hungry after watching this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys!
Why I'm still here? Why I'm still here? Why I'm still here?
Okay, the sun's going down so fast. Okay, I'm taking my time eating all this.